Have you ever felt like you're spinning your wheels in your fitness journey? You're putting in the work week after week in the gym, sticking to the same exercises, following the same plan, but the results, they're just fine. Not amazing, not transformative, just fine. It's frustrating, isn't it? And maybe you're wondering if the problem is you. Maybe you're thinking you need to push harder, wake up earlier, or grind through another workout you don't really enjoy. But what if that's not the issue? What if the reason you're stuck has nothing to do with how hard you're trying and everything to do with the routine you're following? Here's a new way to think about it. Imagine you're wearing a suit that doesn't fit anymore. Maybe it was perfect for you years ago, tailored, comfortable, and made you feel confident. But now your body's changed, your life's changed, and the suit, it's outdated. You can force yourself to wear it, but it just doesn't feel right. That's what it's like when your fitness routine no longer fits your life. To move forward, you don't need to work harder or squeeze into that old suit anymore. You need a routine that fits where you are now. A routine that aligns with your energy, your schedule, and what you enjoy ultimately, and one that's sustainable. So let's break down how to find that routine so you can reignite your progress, feel stronger, and actually enjoy the process. Right now, my own fitness routine looks very different from what it did over the last couple of years. Since the start of 2025, so about a month ago as of recording this, I've taken up jiu-jitsu. I almost guarantee if you watch any type of Joe Rogan, you would have heard of it before. It's a martial art, and I've entered into a beginner's course. 3 mornings a week, and I've been learning the basics. And a few months before that, around October last year, I started Muay Thai with a coach once per week. And then of course there's my gym routine, 4 weight sessions a week, focus on aesthetics and overall strength. I guess you could say more bodybuilding style training. At first, I'm not gonna lie, it was a challenge to balance everything. I had to consider recovery, structuring my week carefully, and figuring out how to make it all work without burning out. And trust me, I'm still trying to figure it out. The goal wasn't just to fit it all in, it was to create a plan that kept me progressing in the gym while enjoying these new skills I was learning. And honestly, I'm absolutely loving it. Trying something new has been great. It's not just about lifting weights anymore, it's about movement, learning techniques, and seeing progress in a way that feels fresh and exciting. But here's what I had to learn. I couldn't keep doing what I was doing before and just stack martial arts on top. My old routine didn't fit this new chapter of my life where I'm merging different forms of training, especially martial arts. If you've done it before, you'll know it's quite tough on the body. I've had to learn how to rework everything and structure it in a way which works for me. I know firsthand how easy it is to fall into the trap of thinking your routine has to look a certain way, because that's what you've always done, or because someone's told you it's optimal. But the truth is, the best routine is the one you can stick to for the long term. For me, that means prioritizing recovery, structuring my week for balance, and being intentional about what I'm doing in the gym. And I have to enjoy what I'm doing as well. I'm someone who likes to look at new things every now and again, such as BJJ or Muay Thai, to try and learn new stuff. Of course, I always want to look great as well. And this isn't just about me. Whether you're juggling work, family, or a busy schedule, finding a routine that fits your life, not someone else's, is the key to progress. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to do that. So the first problem is forcing a routine that no longer matches your life. So let's go back to the suit analogy. Imagine you're still trying to wear and fit into the same suit you had in your early 20s. It might have been sharp and perfect then, but now, if you're in your early 30s or mid 30s, it's tight in all the wrong places. The pants pinch, the jacket doesn't button, and you're uncomfortable the entire time you're wearing it. I've been there. That's pretty much why I wear joggers and t-shirts all the time anyway. But that's what happens when you try to force a routine that works for you in the past, but your current life just doesn't work around this. Maybe you used to train 5 or 6 days a week when you had fewer responsibilities. Now, with a career, family, or other commitments, sticking to that kind of schedule feels impossible, and it leaves you feeling guilty when you can't keep up. Problem 2 is copy and pasting someone else's plan, and there's also the off-the-rack option, grabbing a suit that looks good on someone else and hoping it works for you. This is like following a fitness influencer's plan or doing the same workout as your gym buddy. I mean, it might work for them, but their schedule, goals, and preferences aren't the same as yours. You end up doing something that feels a little bit awkward, uncomfortable, and, let's be honest, unsustainable. Problem 3, no room for adjustments. Finally, a lot of routines don't leave room to grow or adapt. It's like getting a suit that fits perfectly today, but has no flexibility for the future. Life happens, schedules change, stress levels fluctuate, and your goals might evolve. A rigid plan that doesn't allow for adjustments will only hold you back in the long run. Let me tell you about one of my clients, James. James is a 38-year-old lawyer with a packed schedule. He's in court several days a week, often working long hours, and he has 2 young kids at home. When James first came to me, he was frustrated. He was following a bodybuilding 5-day split he found online, chest day, back day, leg day, you know the drill. It worked for him well when he was in his 20s, when he had more time, but now, with all those responsibilities, he was constantly skipping workouts, feeling guilty, and seeing no more progress. He described the routine as suffocating. It didn't fit his life anymore, and he was trying to squeeze into it anyway. Here's the analogy I shared with him. James, it's like you're wearing a suit that's 2 sizes too small. You're trying to make it work, but it's just uncomfortable, and you're constantly reminded why it doesn't fit. What if we tailored a new suit, a new routine that actually fits your life right now? And that was where it clicked for him. Together, we built a plan that worked for James. So that included cutting down gym days. Instead of forcing a 5-day split, we reduced his gym sessions to just 3 full body workouts per week. These were efficient, hitting all major muscle groups while leaving plenty time for recovery. This also added flexibility for family and work. We scheduled his workout early in the morning before his kids woke up. This way, he didn't feel like he was sacrificing family time, and his evenings were free for work or relaxation with the missus. We also started incorporating more enjoyable workout. So he mentioned that he used to love playing tennis when he was younger, but he hadn't picked up a racket in years. We added a weekly tennis session with friends as a form of cardio and stress relief. A little bit similar to me when I've just started doing jiu-jitsu. It's something new and is something different than just being in the gym. We also built in some adaptability. We created a plan that allowed for adjustments. If James had a particularly busy week at work, he could swap one gym session for a home workout or a long walk even, if he really couldn't get in a workout. By the end of the first month, James felt like a completely different person. He was consistent with his workouts for the first time in years, his energy levels improved, and he actively started losing body fat. But more importantly, he no longer felt trapped by his routine. The new plan fit his life, his goals, and his current responsibilities. It was like slipping into a perfectly tailored suit, comfortable, effective, and confidence boosting. So now that we've identified why your current routine might not fit, let's focus on creating one that actually does. So this is where the tailoring process begins. Think of it as designing a custom suit. You're choosing the fabric, the cut, and the details that make it uniquely yours. When structuring your routine, it's not about cramming in as much as possible into your week, which sometimes I'm guilty of. It's about finding balance which works for you between your goals, responsibilities, and enjoyment. A routine that feels effortless to follow and delivers results will be the one which you can adhere to for the longest. When you're tailoring a suit, the first thing you decide is what it's for. A formal event, a business meeting, or something more casual. The same goes for your routine. What's the purpose? What are you trying to get out of it? Maybe you want to lose fat, gain muscle, improve endurance, or simply just to feel better overall. The clearer your goal, easier it is to design a routine around it. For me, my priorities have shifted recently. As I mentioned, I've added those new elements into my training. My main focus areas are structuring it in a way that allows me to recover, keeps me energized, and most importantly, makes me excited to train. I'm loving it because it's something new. Jiu-Jitsu challenges me mentally and physically, while Muay Thai improves the coordination and conditioning, and obviously it's a striking martial art which is completely different. The gym is why I still focus on aesthetics and strength, because it's something I just love doing. Together, it's a routine that works for my goals currently and keeps me motivated. Of course, as the months or years go on, obviously I will tweak it depending on my life. A good suit isn't just about how it looks, it needs to feel comfortable too. If it feels too tight, you won't want to wear it. The same principle applies to your training routine. You need the right balance of effort and recovery to ensure sustainability. If you're overloading your week with intense workouts and not giving your body enough time to recover, it's like wearing that suit that's too stiff and constrictive. On the flip side, if you're doing too little, you won't see any progress. James, my client, was pushing himself far too hard. He was exhausted, constantly sore, and not seeing the results he wanted. When we actually reviewed his routine, it was clear that his suit was all effort and no recovery. Yes, I'm going to keep using that suit analogy. He had ambition, but his body couldn't keep up with the pace. We totally restructured his routine to include 3 full body weight sessions to cover strength and aesthetics, a bit of tennis as I mentioned earlier for cardio and enjoyment, and active recovery days with light stretching and walking. If you've got a packed work day, for example, squeezing in a long gym session might be unrealistic, but that doesn't mean you can't train. It just means you need to adjust. For example, if you can only train 3 times a week, focus on full body workouts. If your mornings are free, use them for some type of movement or stretching, mobility, whatever it may be. And if your evenings are packed with family responsibilities, maybe a short workout fits you better. James's unpredictable schedule made it nearly impossible for him to stick to evening workouts. Court cases would run late, deadlines would pile up, and his planned gym sessions would often be missed. Once we flipped his routine on its head, instead of evening sessions, Jim started training in the mornings. As I mentioned, he set his alarm an hour early and dedicated that time to himself. No distractions, no excuses, just got in and got it done. Let's also not forget the style factor. A suit might fit perfectly, but if you don't like how it looks, you won't wear it. Just like your routine needs to include activities you genuinely enjoy. Again, for me, that was jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, adding that variability and something new and exciting to my training. They're not just workouts, they're skills I'm learning and challenges I'm overcoming. That makes them inherently rewarding. Think about what you enjoy. Maybe it's a sport, a group fitness class, or an outdoor activity. Incorporating something you love will make it far easier to stick to your routine long term. No suit stays perfect forever. Your body changes, seasons change, and so do your circumstances. A routine needs to be flexible enough to adapt. For example, when I started BJJ, I reduced my gym sessions from 5 to 4 sessions to avoid overloading myself. I may even drop it to 3 sessions as well, depending on how my body recovers. If my schedule changes in the future, again, I'll adapt. The key is to listen to your body and make changes as needed. Now that you've tailored a routine to suit your goals, lifestyle, and preferences, the next step is monitoring and adjusting it over time. Think of this as trying on your custom suit and making sure it fits perfectly. Sometimes you'll notice that the jacket feels a little tight or the sleeves could be a little bit longer. In your fitness routine, these are the moments when you make a small adjustments to ensure everything is working as it should. Without regular check-ins, you won't know if your routine is truly serving you. As we know, progress isn't always linear and plateaus are common. Monitoring what you're doing lets you spot these moments early so you can make the necessary tweaks to keep moving forward. Most people fall into 2 traps. 1, overreacting to short-term changes. They adjust the routine every time the scale fluctuates or the energy dips, never actually giving their body a chance to adapt, or ignoring warning signs. On the flip side, some people stick to the same plan for a little bit too long, whether it's months or years, even when it's clearly not working. The sweet spot lies in consistent evaluation without overthinking every minor change. Your suit has several components: fabric, stitching, cut, and your routine is no different. So here are the key areas to check regularly. Body metrics such as weight. Track your weight consistently. For example, that could be once a week at the same time. Look for trends rather than day-to-day changes. Measurements. Take weights, chest, and arm measurements every couple of weeks. These give a more clearer picture of fat loss and muscle gain. Progress photos. A photo every 2 to 4 weeks under consistent lighting can show visual changes that scale might miss. Energy levels and recovery. Do you feel energized or drained after workouts? Are you recovering well between sessions? And then there's performance. Are you getting stronger, faster, or more skilled in your chosen activities? Are your gym lifts improving, or are you feeling stagnant? And then there's enjoyment and adherence. Are you still enjoying your routine, or is it just becoming a chore? Are you sticking to it consistently or finding excuses to skip sessions? James, our 38-year-old lawyer, has been following his new routine for weeks now. He's feeling great overall, but recently he did hit a plateau with his weight loss. Instead of panicking, we reviewed his progress together. So here's what we noticed. His weight has stayed the same for 2 weeks, but his waist measurements has dropped by 1 inch. This means he's likely losing fat and gaining a little bit of muscle as well. Progress the scale won't always reflect. His energy levels are steady and he's actually enjoying his workouts. His lifts in the gym have improved, especially in the compound movements like the squats, deadlifts, and bench press. Based on this feedback, we decided not to adjust his calorie intake yet. Instead, we add an extra 1,000 to 2,000 steps per day to boost his daily activity without overloading his schedule or putting more stress on his body. And within a week, we've noticed he's breaking through his plateau and continuing to make progress. So how do you make adjustments? If something feels off in your routine, don't overhaul everything at once. Small, strategic tweaks are often all you need to get back on track. So let's start off with the nutrition adjustments. If fat loss stalls for 2 weeks or more, try reducing your daily calorie intake by 100 to 200, or increasing your protein slightly to keep you fuller. We can also look at activity adjustments. If your weight training or cardio feels stagnant, you might add 1 to 2 sets per workout. Increase your step count by 1 to 2,000 per day. Swap in a new exercise to challenge your muscles differently. We need to do something to tweak it slightly. And then there's also schedule adjustments. Life changes, as we know, and your routine should too, but only when it's necessary. If work gets busier, reduce your training frequency and focus on quality over quantity. If you have more free time, consider adding an extra session or trying a new activity. Monitoring and adjusting isn't just about the numbers though, it's about staying connected to your progress and being proactive instead of reactive. James's ability to adapt to his routine without panicking is what keeps him moving forward. This approach builds resilience, helping you navigate life's challenges without losing sight of your goals. As we know, fitness isn't a straight path, it's a series of small adjustments to keep you aligned with your destination. And then we've got staying consistent, wearing the suit daily. Once you've tailored the perfect suit, the final And most important step is wearing it consistently. Perfectly tailored suit does nothing for you if it just hangs in your closet. The same goes for your fitness routine. Consistency is the glue that holds everything together and ensures your progress over time. Consistency trumps perfection every single time. It's not the occasional missed workout or the unplanned meal that derails your progress. I've noticed many people mistakenly think that one slip up means you failed. And this all or nothing mindset is a recipe for burnout. Fitness isn't about hitting every workout perfectly or eating clean 100% of the time. It's about showing up regularly, even when life gets messy. Progress comes from stringing together weeks and months or even years of good, but not perfect habits. Life will inevitably throw curveballs your way. Work deadlines, social events, family obligations, or just plain exhaustion. The key to staying consistent is planning for these moments and knowing how to navigate them without losing momentum. Many people struggle because they rely on motivation, which is fleeting. Motivation gets you started, discipline and habits keep you going. The trick is building a routine that feels natural and sustainable so you don't have to rely on willpower every single day. James, my client, is a prime example of the power of consistency. Initially, he struggled with the same challenges most busy professionals face. Unpredictable work hours, evening events with clients, and sheer exhaustion after a long day. But we worked together to build a system that kept him on track, even when life got hectic. We planned ahead. James schedules his workouts like important meetings. He knows that if they're in his calendar, he's far more likely to show up. Some weeks, James can only make it to the gym 3 times instead of 4. Instead of feeling guilty, he shifts his focus, making those 3 sessions as effective as possible. We also make sure we celebrate some wins. When James hit the halfway mark of his goal, losing 10 pounds and noticing visible changes in his physique, he rewarded himself with a new suit. The small milestone motivated him to keep going and stay consistent. To make your fitness journey sustainable, you need strategies that keep you consistent, even when life gets tough. First, you want to plan ahead. Just as you'd plan your work week, plan your workouts and meals. Treat these commitments as a complete non-negotiable. If you know you have a busy week ahead, adjust your schedule in advance to fit in shorter sessions or more movement throughout the day. Embrace progress, not perfection. Understand that perfection isn't realistic. You will miss workouts, indulge in unplanned meals, or have days where you just feel off. The key is not letting one bad day turn into a bad week. Just keep getting back on track and keep moving forward, as hard or as cliche as it sounds. Next is to make it enjoyable. Your routine should be something you actually look forward to, not a chore. If you're dreading every single workout, forcing yourself to eat foods you dislike, it's time to reassess. Find activities you enjoy and foods that satisfy you while supporting your goals. Next is to stack habits. Pair your fitness routine with existing habits to make it automatic. For example, walk during your lunch break or after dinner. Prep your gym bag the night before and leave it by the door. Combine meal prep with something enjoyable like listening to a podcast, that's what I do, or watching your favorite show. Next is celebrate small wins. Acknowledging progress, big or small, reinforces your commitment. Celebrate milestones like losing 5 pounds, hitting a new personal best in the gym, or sticking to your routine for a month. These moments keep you motivated and focused. The reason consistency worked for James's transformation wasn't about being perfect. It was about just showing up consistently. By planning ahead, staying flexible, and celebrating his wins, he made fitness a natural part of his life rather than an added burden, even when he faced setbacks. Like a particularly hectic week at work, he focused on what he could control. He might not have had time for all his planned gym sessions, but he still hit his step goal and prioritized his nutrition. These small wins kept him moving forward. Ultimately, consistency is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't. This isn't just in regards to fitness, but this is in any walk of life, whether it's business, health, whatever it may be. It's not flashy or glamorous. It's about putting in the work every day, day after day, even when you don't feel like it. Just like wearing your suit daily, staying consistent with your fitness routine ensures that it becomes a natural part of your life. Over time, it's this steady, unrelenting effort that leads to lasting results. The same principle applies to your fitness journey. Life is dynamic. Your routine must adapt to keep pace with your changing goals, schedule, and preferences. Adapting doesn't mean starting over. It means refining what's already working so that it continues to work for you. Life rarely stays the same for long. Workloads increase, family commitments shift, and your goals may change. Without the ability to adapt, you risk getting stuck in a routine that no longer serves you, you don't enjoy, and just leads to frustration and burnout. And then watching videos like this. The key to long-term success isn't about finding a single rigid plan. It's about finding the flexibility to adjust your approach when staying consistent with the bigger picture. So here's some common challenges and how to address them. Challenge 1 is changing goals. Maybe you've achieved your initial fat loss target and now you want to focus on building muscle. improving performance, or mastering a new skill like jiu-jitsu. Sticking to a routine designed for fat loss won't align with your new objectives. So here's how to adapt. Shift your focus. Transition from a calorie deficit to maintenance or a surplus if you're building muscle, for example. Adjust your training to include more strength work or skill-based activities. Challenge 2. Time constraints. Your schedule may become more demanding, leaving less time for workout or meal prep. This means you want to prioritize efficiency. Swap longer gym sessions for shorter, more intense ones. You can use tools like meal delivery services or batch cooking to save time while staying on track. Challenge 3. Motivation dips. We've all been there. Routine monotony can make even the best plan feel uninspiring over time. The way to adapt is to introduce variety. Trying a new activity, adjust your workout split, or set a short-term goal to reignite your enthusiasm. Sometimes even small changes like switching from morning to evening workouts can make quite a big difference. James's story didn't end with his initial transformation. Once he achieved his fat loss goal, his focus is gradually shifting. He wants to build muscle and improve his endurance for outdoor adventures with his family. We've started increasing his calorie intake to maintenance, ensuring his body had the fuel it needed for muscle growth and longer activities. His workouts are shifting to focus on progressive overload, emphasizing compound lifts and strength gains. And to keep things fresh, as well as the tennis, he's added in a weekly cycling session with his mate, which he enjoys as a mental and physical challenge. When his work schedule becomes busier, we'll adjust again. He transitioned from a 3 to 4 day gym routine and incorporated resistance bands for quick at-home workouts on those hectic days. This way, we know we're getting something in. These changes are allowing James to maintain his progress and even build on it without feeling overwhelmed. Overall, the biggest mistake I found most people make is trying to force themselves into a routine that just doesn't suit them. If you want lasting results, your routine needs to enhance your life, not disrupt it. Start with what we've covered here, and remember, the goal is sustainability, not perfection. And do something you enjoy which works with your life. If you're unsure where to start or feel stuck, I've got something for you. Take my completely free Body Health and Performance quiz linked below to uncover what's holding you back and get a personalized plan to hit your goals. You also get access to my completely free training where I break down these principles in more detail and give you a complete system for you to follow and help you take the next step to losing up to 20 pounds of fat without disrupting your day-to-day life or spending hours in the gym. Click the link below to check it out. Also, YouTube has recommended this video somewhere over here because that thinks that's the best next video for you.